Oh, who you are? Hello, it's Tease. Good day, good afternoon, good evening. I hope all are well. Hope all are safe. Um, so I'm thinking right now what's happening is the world or the system is preparing for the worst. So I guess there's a to-do list, and the to-do list is to do this, this, and that, get rid of this, this, and that, kill this, and them, and roll out the show. So right now, I guess, well, I mean, it's more than one thing happening right now, but I'm noticing the housing crisis here. There, I'm thinking like, okay, maybe this is an LA thing because it's a big city and it's just hard to live out here. It's everywhere. You get some people or some places where it's like, okay, after a certain time, you're getting evicted whether you got it or not. Because I mean, I guess they spared people, between 2000 and now, 2020 and now. Um, as far as just, they'll probably spare you for a few months to maybe a year or so due to COVID. And then now, this is the time to start throwing people out because it's like, I guess they figured you've been here long enough, or it's really all about the money anyway. You should have known this. I was nice enough to even let you slide a month or two. Um, so now, if you can't take the heat, you're just basically getting thrown out on your head. Um, and while they're doing that, these programs and these quote unquote housing assistants, I don't even think they ever existed, to tell you the truth. Because even with the Section 8, even me, like, even back in the day as a young single digit child, I remember anytime somebody talked about Section 8, like, okay, this is going to be a long wait. It's a big deal. And then by the time you do get it, you probably won't even need no damn Section 8. If I'm waiting in a 20-year line for some Section 8 for housing, what the hell am I doing in that 20 years? Like I say, literally, these waiting lists are so long with, like, you do know you can become a doctor and an astronaut twice each. And it's just, that's what they're doing right now. And then even with the whole housing here, oh, it's a housing crisis. There's tents everywhere. And I can see them saying that we're overpopulated or people come from overseas to come here to be homeless. But when you're building luxury apartments or, you building stuff and tearing stuff down, yeah, they do have the space. They have the accommodation. It's just, things are supposed to look a certain way at this time. And like I say, even with the Section 8, you got some sides of the country complaining, hey, they won't accept my Section 8. Or even here, hey, there's no housing here. I don't even think, even with the shelters, you'll think like, okay, well, I'll just go to a shelter and wait for a caseworker so they can put me in housing. Like, there's people who've been in shelter for years and years, like literally waiting for them to help you. And it's like, hey, you waiting for a demonic system to help you? And it's just kind of like, that's why I cannot imagine myself waiting in even if they say, hey, you have guaranteed housing, this line will just be 20 years long. Like, am I really I am to dick around for 20 years waiting for you to help me? It's just like, yeah, so I guess in some sides of the country, I forgot where it was, but they were pretty much saying, oh, they're not accepting our Section 8, or they're not taking anyone who has Section 8. And honestly, there's a good and bad about that. I guess the good part is like, okay, well, you waited a long time, you finally reached the finish. The terrible part is, the cons are, you waited in line to for assistance. So it's kind of like, what were you doing with yourself for those 30 years that you've been waiting in line? And like I say, and it's good and bad that they're not accepting the whole Section 8 thing. Because I guess as a landlord, I'll just start with the bad part. As a landlord, I wouldn't say to anybody that takes this on Section 8, I don't give a damn if you're the president, because it just seems like people who are on Section 8 or pay $3 a month are just dangerously trifling. People who pay good money to be in a place are trifling. So let alone if you're literally paying $20 to be here, $20 a month to be here, that place is gonna be so damn trifling. Because A, you're not gonna want to leave. B, I'm sure you're not gonna be cleaning shit up or repairing. And then C, it's just like, once you get in there in that Section 8, like, I think people feel like, oh, I'm gonna die on Section 8. Like, I'm not getting off this paying $20, not $20 a month. Yeah, and that's why I can see why landlords like, heck no, your trifling ass ain't coming in here. Because, and I don't want to say just because you own Section 8 or because you're waiting in the Section 8 line that you're trifling or waiting to be trifling, but it's just something about people paying $20 a month or getting something for free, and you're not gonna appreciate it if you're not literally having to die to live there. And even here, like I say, there's people in the neighborhood who they pay where they are, but they're just trifling as hell. Maybe it just depends on where you are. But most time with Section 8, you'll think it's just in the hood, but some people you could take your Section 8 to anywhere in the U.S. But I'm sure they're going to have it set up a certain way. Oh, yeah, I accept Section 8. It's either going to already be tore up from the tenants, or it's probably not going to be on a nice side of town, because it's free, quote unquote, housing. Um, yeah, 'cause like I said, I mean, it doesn't really mean anything, but just because you're on Section 8, because one lady, I guess she took her Section 8 to Hawaii, but that doesn't mean that she's not living trifling in Hawaii. And again, I don't want to say just because you're on Section 8 you're trifling, but that vibe, like let's say like, oh, okay, people who are people who are on certain assistance, they come with certain vibes. Like for instance, and I don't want to say if I was on Section 8, actually no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be trifling because pretty much if I'm anywhere that I am, the place is gonna look a lot better than it did when I came in. I see that's one thing I don't do. I don't tear up people's space. If I'm in your space, this place is gonna be tip top when I leave. You come in there, you're like, whoa, did anybody even stay here? That's even in hotels. I stay in hotels. I mean, outside of the bed being messed up, like it won't be, the place will not be trashed. Like it's gonna look like, wow, I only have to polish things up and make the bed, or I only have to, pretty much just do the standard. I don't have to call in for the cleaning crew. Yeah, like I say, Airbnb, no matter where I'm at, if I'm at somebody's house or if I'm renting or staying or rent or doing whatever it is, if I call myself staying in that space, it's going to be tip top when I leave. But that's not always the case when you get people who just all they know is roaches and trifling and putting holes in the wall, especially with children too. And you'll think like, oh, well, children are children, but yeah, children tear shit up too. They write on the walls and then like I say, especially if you just let them do what they want to do. So that's probably why they're probably like, yeah, no, we don't want no more Section 8 people. Like I said, it's already going to be, if you waited in this 20-year line, by the time you get to that finish line, you're A, not going to get off of Section 8, and B, you're not going to leave. Because it's like, I waited in a 30-year line to pay $20 a month, and I finally did. And I'm going to basically die on Section 8. I'm going to be here until it goes out of business. So I guess now people are complaining, they won't take my Section 8. And I can understand why. Which is good, because that's fire under your ass. Well, what else are you going to do? And that's a good question to ask yourself, too. People that are in these housing and stuff that these banks are buying up to throw people out. Even if things are great, if your house burns down or if a hurricane comes and it rips the lid off your, or the roof off your house, what will you do, So it's like, it's good to have that backup plan anyway, outside of your original living arrangement. Say you're supposed to have like plan A, B, C, D, really. Because it's like, okay, I'm good now. Or if I'm here, I'll just go there. Or if I'm there, you literally have that planned up like that. Because a lot of people, they only have that one. Like I say, I only have this one Section 8. And if they don't take it, then I'm SOL. That should be the fire under your ass. Like, what the hell? So you just going to sit there and freeze to death? Or you just going to sit there and melt to death? Or you just going to... And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with living in a tent. Cause that's probably, hey, you could save a lot of money. But if you're not about that life, you're not going to know what to do. So, again, you need to make plan A, B, C, because everybody be thinking they set. Like, I'm good. I got money, I can pay my bills, that's perfectly fine. But again, if the place come burning down, crashing down, or if a hurricane rips the lid off your house, then what are you going to do? Because I can promise you that the housing is not readily available, especially not for certain calibers of people. So it's not going to be like, oh, damn, well, there was just a storm that came through. This shelter is going to open up to help you guys out. Or there was a storm that came through. Here's the cleanup crew. And you know who I haven't heard of either? Is it the, what is it, the Red Cross? Who's that, the one, I can't think of their name, but that agency that normally comes out to help people in is it FEMA? I'm probably not thinking about FEMA. But even them too. But it's like, have you noticed, you don't really see them anymore. I don't know when the last time I seen FEMA or, I don't even know the names of these damn agencies because I haven't seen them in so damn long. But yeah, during the crisis, like, nope, I haven't seen them. But anyway, I hope all are well, hope all are safe, and hopefully that's something you'll think about because I'm seeing it more now, like as far as housing issues and what's going on here and what's going on there. And it's all the same pattern. They're setting up for disaster, so to speak. All right, be safe.